Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist James Scott right here in the WFMY News 2 Weather Impact Room. Hey, had a great first day. Let's get right down to brass tacks. Hey, we're talking about our current conditions, 50s and 60s across the board. Had a little bit of rain moving through earlier this afternoon, the morning as well. Pretty much all of this has moved out. You can kind of tell exactly where we have the haves and the have-nots in terms of the rain. That is, those cooler areas. You're seeing 52 in Roxborough, 55 in Reedsboro, 54 in Greensboro. Yeah, we at least got a little bit of rain, officially a trace there at PTI. Obviously up in the high country, the foothills, North Carolina, they saw a little bit as well. Down to the south, though, stayed warmer. You can probably imagine why. The have-nots really didn't get anything in terms of rain today, but we're all cooler across the board. Even though we got close to 70 in Albemarle, keep in mind, they were in the mid-80s this time as we closed out the weekend for our Sunday. But look at this, dropping 30 degrees, actually more than that, 31 in Danville, nearly 30 degrees as well, a drop here in Greensboro. So definitely a lot cooler. Talking about the rain as well, it wasn't a whole lot to go around. As I mentioned, we had a trace here in Greensboro, heading up to the high country about 1/10 of an inch. Looked like the big winners were right along the North Carolina-Virginia border, namely looks like in Stokes County, moving to Surrey County, Mount Airy area, if you will. So around a quarter inch there. That was about as good as it gets. Hey, is it something? Yeah. Is it a whole lot? Well, no, it's not going to put our drought to bed anytime soon. So now that the rain's moving out, we have that cooler air moving in. We're talking about 30s and 40s waking up tomorrow morning. But that's not the only thing you're going to feel or see as you walk out the door. Looking at some fog as we head into the early morning hours, really late tonight into your Tuesday morning. Seeing anywhere between, about 6 mile visibility, maybe in Salisbury. Obviously, this is going to impact everyone, but areas that do see that dense fog, yes, it will be dense. Could be below a half mile at times before, we finally start to clear out heading out the door for your commute. So especially for your early morning risers, you're turning into the Good Morning Show, of course. Definitely want to watch out for some fog, in particular between about 4 and 8 a.m. tomorrow, getting things started. And then, of course, that fog really quite literally melts away by the afternoon. Plentiful sunshine, by the way. Temperatures in the mid-70s, but it's definitely going to be a cooler, if not downright cold start to the morning. Let's call it chilly. How about that? 39 in Siler City. So we're seeing some upper 30s and mid to lower 40s pretty much all across the WFMY News 2 area. Triad, Piedmont, of course, in the foothills and high country, obviously. Going to be a little bit cooler in the high country. As I was talking about, certainly going to be warmer as we roll throughout the day. Temperatures swelling nicely into the mid to lower 70s. Plentiful sunshine. Get outside and enjoy it. Here's the thing, though. This is going to feel really nice at any given time, of course, whether it's spring, fall, summer, winter, mid to lower 70s, plentiful sunshine, low humidity. That's going to feel fantastic. But you're really going to like this compared to what's moving in this weekend. Now, obviously, people have different tastes, but if you're a fan of summer, you're really going to like what's happening this weekend. If you're a fan of these cooler temperatures that we're dealing with, well, you might have another thing coming there. Remember, we have not hit 90 degrees quite yet here at PTI. I've gotten close a couple times the past month, especially in April. Remember how warm this past month was? Well, it's going to finally start to catch up there in our May. Actually, I was talking over this with Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley. It's been warmer so far, at least in terms of average temperatures. It's combining the highs and the lows, of course. It's been warmer so far in April than it has been in May so far. So real quick, before we start talking about actually another rain chance that comes in on Thursday, just want you to know that, yes, some fog could be a problem from 2 to 9. I think in particular between about 4 and 8 a.m. Tomorrow, could see some low visibility. Just take it easy outside. I know you guys know what to do. Again, just looking at the forecast there, it's pretty much all up and out of here by about 9. So let's talk about what's going on really across the state. All kinds of thunderstorm activity actually just off the coast. We had a couple of National Weather Service branches, one in Wilmington, one in Morehead City there along the coast. They were getting reports of waterspouts. Now, fortunately, nothing too severe, and you can see those heaviest of the storms as it loops through here again are really headed out to sea. So really things are winding down across the Tar Heel and Palmetto states. But it certainly was an active time there for a little bit along our coast. Most of the rain you can see, as I mentioned, remained up and along the North Carolina-Virginia border there. Saw a few, looks like little cracks of lightning there, a few rumbles of thunder. Nothing severe, of course, and most of us, if not all of us, pretty much remained under a quarter of an inch. So what's next? Let's talk about it. Have that cold front moving in. We have that wedge-like situation. That's really a big reason why we saw that wide temperature discrepancy, not only because of the rain, because that wedge, it didn't quite end up as strong as what we see in the winter, which of course is normal. It's May after all. But yeah, that wedge was able to, wedge itself far enough south that we definitely felt it here in the Triad. Not so much as we move into southern Piedmont, the Charlotte area, for example. But eventually that's going to move out too. This too shall pass. And in comes a second cold front. Ahead of that, though, we are going to see some warmth, some more winds coming in, at least out of a more southerly direction, not due south itself. Could also see a few thunderstorms kicking off then. Actually, it may be a little interesting as we move late Wednesday into Thursday. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be widespread severe weather, widespread strong storms, but definitely could see a few heavy cells moving through some gusty winds, maybe very loud storms trying to head to bed Wednesday evening. You're going to see that there. Pretty quick moving storms as well. So that's when we start to get a little bit more concerned about some wind gust potential. Not really going to get into specifics here. We'll talk some more about this as the week progresses, but this should be on your radar quite literally right now as we move late Wednesday into Thursday morning. Again, I'm not expecting anything widespread, nothing devastating by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to be something to watch out for again late Wednesday heading into our Thursday. That is a cold front moving through. It's actually not going to bump down temperatures by too much compared to what we're going to see tomorrow morning. Remember, for your Tuesday, kicking off things, second day of the work week, 30s and 40s. Yeah, remember, this second front, that moves through Wednesday night into Thursday. I think by Saturday, Sunday, we're pushing mid to upper 80s. Could even be hovering around 90 by this time next week. So as things go here in the summer, in the spring, we have these pretty wide temperature swings, and well, this is going to be no different. So in terms of rainfall forecast, in terms of rainfall potential, yeah, it could be anywhere between maybe nothing to about a half inch, and that's just how these things go with these systems. We always seem to have these winners and these losers. Right now, it does appear most models are suggesting our northern counties are going to be more winners. Areas down to the south heading towards the PD, the URI, yeah, that might be just a little bit drier there. But of course, a lot can and will change for the next 2 to 3 days. We'll be sure to keep you weather-wise there. Now, as we move later into the weekend and early next week, this is what we're talking about in terms of the heat really beginning to move in. And just take a look at this 7-day, folks. It is going to be downright toasty. Saturday, Sunday into Monday. Yeah, it could be pushing well above normal, 10 to 15 degrees in that direction. So remember, a little bit cooler for this Tuesday morning. Lows right around 40 here in the Triad. Obviously even cooler up to the north and west, heading towards the foothills and the high country. Temperatures do rebound a bit more on Wednesday, tracking a few storms late Wednesday into Thursday. But then temperatures go up, up, up. Folks, the heat is on.